Hey there, and hope you're having a wonderful day. So, if you are watching this on social, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn, as always, please don't hesitate to hop in the comments, say hi and where you're tuning in from, tag some people, share this video, support the video by liking, loving it, sharing it, whatever you feel necessary. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do turn that notification bell on. You can also comment below. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you for your continued support. We're approaching 600 episodes and 900,000 listens. So if you're watching this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a rating and review. Let me know what you would like to hear more of and like what you would like to see more of. And for everyone, whether you're watching on social, YouTube, or on the podcast itself, if you drop the word me in the comments on social or you DM me on Instagram at Scott Aaron LinkedIn, that you would like access to my free LinkedIn scorecard, you can also email me, scott@scottaaron.net. Just ask for the LinkedIn scorecard. On social, just type the word me and I'll send you the link. I created something called the LinkedIn scorecard assessment, which helps people really analyze what they need the most help with in regards to LinkedIn, whether it's their profile, their connecting, their messaging, their content. So you can see the holes and gaps ahead of time so you know exactly what you need to focus on. So in today's training, we're going to be going over how to significantly boost your engagement on LinkedIn. Now, this has been a hot topic for quite some time. People have tried everything under the sun, whether it's joining an engagement pod, whether it's, trying to beat the algorithm, posting certain things. Listen, all of that is fine, well, and good. And with everything that I have tested, I have found that there are three specific things that you can do organically that will lead to significantly increased engagement over time when it's done consistently. Now, the first thing, I know this may seem very elementary, very easy, very simplistic, but it's important to reiterate that one of the keys to boosting your engagement is to produce content that solves your audience's problem. Now, something that I always talk about is being a person of value, but also being a value added resource to the connections that you have on LinkedIn. You are not there to sell, you are not there to pitch, you are there to provide the highest possible value of content to your audience that helps them in some way, shape, or form, whether that be to help them grow their business or a tangible tip to streamline a process. The fact is, if you are not taking the necessary time to really uh, give that value added deliverable content to your audience, they're not going to engage. I know, again, this sounds simple, but if you look at what gets really good engagement on LinkedIn, is content that solves people's problems. It's content that gives people solutions, but also tangible tips and actionable things that they can do. So I think there's a lot of people that don't take enough of that into consideration. It's one of those things where um, you really need to make sure that everything that you are producing on LinkedIn, whether it's a post, whether it's a poll, whether it's an article, a newsletter, a video, a document, a template, you should be thinking about the person that's going to be watching it, reading it, listening to it. And then you have to ask yourself, is what I'm about to post going to leave this person better? Is what I'm about to post going to give them the necessary information to move the needle of their business forward? And if the answer to either of those is no, go back and redo your content. I think we all live in this state of trying to create as many sales and as many, as much money as possible. The money shows up when the impact is felt. The money shows up when the impact is felt. And one of the best ways for people to feel your impact is through the value of the content that you provide that solves your audience's or ideal clients on LinkedIn their problems. So that's number one. Number two, and this is something that I love doing, is posting a poll question one time per week in a group that is full of your peers. This is something that I have actually been playing around with for quite some time now. And I can tell you that it's really benefited my network. It's helped my network grow. It's helped with engagement. And it really has provided me the necessary information of the connections that I could have on LinkedIn. Now, you notice I didn't just say post a poll on LinkedIn. I said post a poll on LinkedIn in a group where a lot of your peers are a part of it. Now, just to kind of give you an example, I'm in a sales group. It's called Salesty. It's a sales community. It's a lot of people that love sales, that are in sales, and I love asking this group questions because they're just so candid with providing feedback. And just to give you an example, I did a question a few days ago in there. And what I did was I asked them, I said, what do you believe is the most important skill for a successful salesperson to have? It's a pretty basic question, but I gave some answers. Someone who builds strong relationships, someone that has good communication skills, someone that is resilient and adaptable, or other. Comment below. Now, this poll still has about 5 days left. 304 votes, 17 comments, nearly 10,000 impressions. And this is a very engaged group, but it's telling me that people really resonated with this question. And of the 304 votes, 51%, so 154 people voted for building strong relationships, 66 people voted for communication skills, and 77 people voted for resiliency and adaptability. 7 were other. Comment below, and they shared that below. But the great thing about these poll questions, you're creating relatability, trust, and rapport with this audience. And you can see that it gets great engagement. And the general populace of LinkedIn can still see it. I believe they can vote, but they can't engage. You have to be in the group to do the engaging. But if you were to find a group on LinkedIn that is completely full of your peers, and you just take time one time a week to really ask them a meaningful question that they would really, really resonate with. Number one, it's going to grow your audience. Number two, it's going to grow your engagement, which also is going to grow your visibility on LinkedIn. So that's number two. Now, the final thing that you can do, is tag 2 to 3 trusted connections one time per week in a post they would resonate with. So here's the mistake that people make first and foremost. Well, number one, I've been tagged in posts where literally, no lie, I'm tagged with like 70 other people. That's not good. Whether it's in the content or the comments, people get tag happy. Now, that's, in my opinion, it's a little bit spammy. And I typically untag myself if it's just a slew of people because everyone gets drowned out. So I usually untag myself. But what I am suggesting is this: going onto LinkedIn and tagging 2 to 3 trusted connection of yours, people that you know, like, and trust. They could be clients, right? They could be friends. They could be business connections, right? And all you have to do is tag those 2 to 3 people in a post you know they would resonate with. So you create your content, you post it, and in the comments, you would just type the @ symbol and then the person's name and then click on them, comma, @ symbol, type the person's name, click on them, comma, and @ symbol, type the person's name, click on them, comma. What are your thoughts on this topic? Question mark, and then post it. And what that's going to do, it's going to tag those 3 individuals that are, like, and trust to bring validity, but also their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions from what you posted into your content. Number one, it's not going to be spammy. They're trusted people. You can let them know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to tag you in a post. You're not just blindingly, tagging a ton of people. That's not how to take advantage of LinkedIn. What I can share with you is those that really adapt these 3 strategies, right? Making sure that number one, you're producing content that solves your audience's problems. Number 2, you post a poll 1 time per week in a group that is full of your peers. And number 3, you're tagging 2 to 3 trusted connections 1 time per week in a post they would resonate with. You're going to be way ahead of the game. And it's not going to be an instantaneous thing. It's going to take time. But I promise you, those 3 strategies will absolutely grow your audience. They'll grow your connections. They'll grow your engagement. They'll grow your visibility. And inevitably, it's going to grow your business. So one last time, again, if you're watching on social or YouTube, just drop the word me in the comments if you would like the link to take my LinkedIn scorecard assessment. If you're listening on the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever, you can either send me a DM on Instagram @ Scott Aaron LinkedIn, or just private email me, scott@scottaaron.net, and just say, hey, I'd love to take the assessment, listen to your podcast, and I'll send you the link. And as always, if you are listening to the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating and review. Let me know what you would like to hear more of. And also YouTube, please subscribe. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers on the channel. So I do hope you found this episode and training helpful. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time.